Hello chess lovers, Suren here, and in this video I would like to share with you a fantastic game played by 13-year-old Indian chess prodigy Rameshbabu Praggnanandhaa. His opponent is Indian chess master Teja S Ravi, and this game was played in 2018 at Isle of Man Masters tournament. Now let's see what happened on the board. Praggnanandhaa opened up with e4 and c6 by Ravi. Black goes for Caro-Kann defense, d4, d5 and e5. White goes for the advanced variation, bishop f5 and h4. Here black has to be careful before playing e6, should create a shelter for the light squared bishop on h7, either by playing h6 or h5. Otherwise, by pushing forward his pawns, white can trap this light squared bishop. In our game, we have h5. This is a more popular and is considered to be a more active try than h6, but this move also has its downsides, because in this case, black is slightly weakening the h5 and g5 squares. Now comes c4, e6, knight c3, knight e7, knight e2, d takes c4, knight g3 and bishop g6. Instead of playing bishop g6, b5 could have been a more ambitious try in order to protect the one pawn, but in our game after knight g3 we have bishop g6. Now comes bishop g5. White is instantly using this weakened g5 square, is pinning black knight, queen b6, and bishop takes c4. And in here, black went for a very risky line and captured the pawn on b2, but it turns out that the pawn on b2 is poisoned, after which black is starting to face serious problems. Playing knight d7 and then castling queenside could have given black better chances, but in our game we have queen takes b2. Now comes knight e4, knight f5, and Praggnanandhaa castled kingside. Knight takes g3, a move which allows white to unleash a dangerous combination. It was better to play knight d7. In here there is a very beautiful line which I would like to share with you. If knight takes d4, then knight c3. If bishop takes e4, then queen takes d4. If bishop c5, then white can capture on e4, and after queen takes c3 can go for a bishop sacrifice on e6. If f takes e6, then queen g6 check, and then queen takes e6. If queen takes e5, then queen takes d7, and white stands much better. Although I have to repeat that this line could have been better for black. But in our game after castling kingside we have knight takes g3. Here Praggnanandhaa played a very daring rook b1 move, and after queen a3 a question arises. What is white doing? If you recapture with the knight, then you will lose your rook. But here Praggnanandhaa recaptured with the pawn and sacrificed the knight. Black accepted the sacrifice, bishop takes e4, and now what? How is white going to proceed with the game? But it turns out that Praggnanandhaa has already calculated everything. This time he went for a rook sacrifice on f7. Rook takes f7. This is brutal, guys. Right now, as you can see, both white rooks are hanging, and believe it or not, but instead of winning one of them, black captured the pawn on g3 and created a direct mating threat. But let's have a look. What if, for example, king takes f7? Then in this case, white can capture the pawn on b7 with a check. Now if king e8, then in this case, queen f1 is very strong with a direct mating threat. If bishop g6, then bishop takes e6. Or after rook takes b7 check, if king g6, then anyways, bishop takes e6 is coming. If queen d3, then bishop f7 check, followed by queen c1. Black king is in a mating net. If queen d4 check, then bishop e3. And then this queen is coming. It's over, guys. If queen d3, then bishop f2. Let's go back and let's have a look. What if after rook takes f7, bishop takes b1? Then in this case, white can recapture with the queen. And if king takes f7, then queen f5 check is coming using this pin. And again, black king is in a mating net. Let's go back to our main game. After rook takes f7, Ravi captured the pawn on g3. But here Praggnanandhaa simply moved back his rook on f2, b5, and queen e1. White is both threatening rook takes f8 and then queen takes g3, and at the same time is counter-attacking black bishop. Bishop f5, black blocked the f file, but now comes another tactical shot, bishop takes e6. Queen takes f2 was played, black decided to give away his queen, but if we move like bishop e6, then in this case this rook f8 check is coming and white is winning. In our game after bishop takes e6 we have queen takes f2. Queen takes f2, bishop takes e6, and now if we have a look at the position, although black has two pieces and a rook against the queen, but of course black king is very vulnerable. Also black pieces are not cooperating together, and now Praggnanandhaa will successfully exploit all the weaknesses in black's camp. Now comes d5, c takes d5. Well, if bishop takes d5, then in this case the bishop is no longer controlling the f5 square and the queen can penetrate black's camp. There can be some queen c8 ideas, or at some point queen g6 is also playable. That's why in our game we have c takes d5, but now white queen is penetrating black's camp from the c file. We have the exchange of dark squared bishops on e7. Black managed to get rid of this powerful bishop, but now white queen is penetrating black's camp. Queen c7 check, bishop d7. Well, if knight d7, again, even this won't help black. White can easily realize his advantage. In our game we have bishop d7 and a powerful e6 is on the board. Rook c8. Well, if king takes e6, then in this case black king can easily get checkmated. The rook cooperating together with the queen can easily finish off black. And then queen takes e6 checkmate. That's why after e6 we have rook c8, but now comes queen b7, we have two hanging pieces. King takes e6 and black is losing his rook. Knight c6, queen b7, b4, queen a6, we have another pin and black is also losing the pawn on b4, rook d8, rook b1, d4, rook c1, king c7, and after queen takes a7, finally black resigned. If king d6, then white can announce a check from c5 and then can win the pawn on d4 as well. This is going to be an easy win. That's why after queen takes a7, finally Ravi resigned. A brilliant game which will definitely be treasured in chess books and will be remembered forever. Thanks for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this game. For more games, consider subscribing to my channel. Also press the bell button to get notified about new uploads. I will see you in my next video. Good luck.